Hello everybody and welcome to Galvin Gaming. As usual, I'm Liam and I'll be your reviewer this evening. Now tonight I'll be reviewing Guns N' Zombies. And just as a warning, as I'm reviewing this gameplay, you will be subjected to some spoilers. So if you don't want gameplay to be ruined, I suggest you click away now. Okay, let's get going. Guns N' Zombies is an indie run-and-gun shooter with hordes of unique and very diverse robotic zombies in some detailed and surprisingly large environments. You play as a survivor of the techno-zombie apocalypse, struggling to survive in a world severely overrun by the undead. The only things keeping you alive are your arsenal and your legs as you shoot your way out of a variety of different situations, either alone or with a friend. As the game progresses, you'll encounter ever more powerful and creative foes, all being led through the short 2-hour story of what happens to the futuristic Earth and what remains of the apocalyptic countryside. To say that the story of Guns N' Zombies is bad would be an understatement. Not only is it extremely short, but it's very dull. Although the idea of nanorobots creating the zombie apocalypse is fresh and unique, it's told in a very generic and dull fashion. There's no real depth behind any of the characters, and any character development you do get feels like it was thrown in as an afterthought. Now normally, in a game like this, I'd forgive having a bad story, as run-and-gun games typically only have a story as a formality. But it's advertised as having, and I quote, a thrilling plot and a long journey. And when a game is this generic and this short, sitting at a measly 2 hours, I'm sorry, but that's false advertising. Although, to be fair, the game does feel long, as you will be bored by about half an hour. And after that, the game feels like a chore. The graphics of this game are not terrible. There's a lot of color which makes it feel pretty and vibrant. However, the models are very boxy and far from fantastic. The game looks like it was made a few years ago, but being an indie game, it did quite well, and overall, it's not going to make your eyes bleed. The design of the zombies is also quite good, with some of them looking sufficiently badass and others looking downright goofy. However, you can tell this is where the developers spent a lot of their time, and it really pays off, with each type looking fantastic and sticking well with the theme of the game. The soundtrack, on the other hand, is terrible. While the actual music is fine, it consists of what feels like 1 or 2 dubstep songs on continuous repeat. The gun noise that will be almost constant gets really old really fast as well, and the never-ending zombie screams are going to be just as bad. After an hour of playing the game, I had a pretty bad headache. Plus, that music is going to be stuck in my head for a very long time, and not in a good way. The gameplay is clear what this game is about. It features a lot of different guns and a new zombie is brought in each level to keep things fresh. You can tell that the developers spent a lot of time customizing each zombie, as every different type is meant to have its own strengths and weaknesses with different AI to keep the player on their toes. I say they're meant to, because I literally only used a shotgun for the entire game and I was completely fine. In fact, when I switched to a heavier weapon, I found it was taking me a longer time to kill things, so I went straight back to it. The zombie tactics are actually not bad, and I did find myself getting forced into their traps or getting large minefields placed on the map because I'd let a miner live. That being said, because the zombies can kill each other with their special moves, a lot of the time the more powerful zombies will do you a favor by killing heaps of the mobs. The AI is also extremely buggy, and more than once I experienced it completely breaking. I mean, look at this! Look at it! You shouldn't be able to make a zombie your bitch like that! This bug took out every zombie in the level, and they all lost interest in it. Another bug made me invincible as the objective had been failed and I could still resurrect. It ended up allowing the objective timer to count down and I won the mission. I only mention these because they are so frequent and so severe that it makes me think the game had a lack of testing, which in a game this short should be unacceptable. The game also tries to have a tower defense aspect with the construction of turrets and the defense of objectives. This part of the game works reasonably well, but it left me wishing they were a little bit stronger and had a bit better placing. As it stands, the Poultry 3 turrets were fairly ineffective, and the tactics I wanted to use were prevented by shitty placing. Also, a turret that slows down the enemy is completely fine game. It really is. But why do you have to slow me down as well? There is an upgrade system to the game, and the ever-increasing difficulty makes it feel necessary. It's based on both levels and crystals, which works fairly well. However, to get some of the better gear will mean you'll either have to grind the missions or play the survival mode. As this game has no replayability, I'd recommend the latter of these two options. Your efforts will, however, pay off, with lots of upgrades to buy ranging from guns to general power-ups. This leaves you plenty of room to play to your strengths. I wouldn't say the upgrade tree is anything special, however, and all the guns feel the same anyway, so that cool looking minigun is going to feel like an absolute waste of cash at the end of the day. This is really bad for the game, as one of its main features is guns. I mean, it's in the name. And when all of them feel like they can be replaced by 3, of which you'll only use 1, then you're going to be seen in a pretty poor light. The game is pretty poor, and has very few things to redeem some of its worst qualities. Despite its very short length, it still manages to get boring well before the end, while the storyline leaves a lot to be wanting. The unique zombies are the only thing that might redeem this game, but by the end they'll feel stale and meld together into the horde, making them feel fairly generic. Overall, I'd give this game 3.5 zombie heads out of 10. It's a well below average game that I want to stop playing after half an hour. Even at its low cost, I'd still find it very hard to recommend, so you might want to give this one a miss. As always, if you like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Liam, and I'll see you all in the next video. Catcha.